Welcome back to Friends with Benefits Car Club, where the cars are fast, the jokes are faster, and GM's affordable EV promise crashes harder than an F1 car on cold tires. So, seat back, smash that like button like it's a McLaren front wing, hit subscribe, and share this with someone still clinging to Tesla supremacy. This week, pure automotive chaos. McLaren crashes mid-race, used EV prices are in freefall, GM's teasing fairy tale EVs, a 190E comes back possessed, Tesla's losing to the competition, NASCAR disses a whole city, and America finally adds more fast EV chargers. Kind of. You didn't ask for it, we brought it anyway. Let's get into it. It's an age-old F1 tradition. Beat your teammate or die trying. In Montreal, Lando Norris decided 5 laps from the end was the perfect time to throw hands with teammate Oscar Piastri. Going for 4th, Norris lunged into the hairpin, Piastri defended, and the two drag raced down the casino straight like kids on Xbox Live. Meanwhile, Mercedes rookie Kimi Antonelli sneakily gave them both slipstream, just to keep them side by side, and walked away with his first podium. Genius. Then, disaster. Norris went for a non-existent gap at the final chicane, clipped Piastri's tire, ripped off his own front wing, and parked himself in the wall. Safety car, race over. Norris walks home. Piastri finishes. Antonelli celebrates. Now, McLaren could have gone full meltdown mode, but nope. They doubled down on their papaya rules philosophy. Let them race, even if they wreck each other doing it. And with both drivers sitting first and second in the standings, this might just be the start of another McLaren meltdown season. Max Verstappen is watching and probably smiling. Now, while McLaren was busy turning carbon fiber into confetti, the used EV market quietly decided to throw a fire sale. Used EV prices dropped over 29% year over year. And I'm not talking about weird niche brands no one's ever heard of. We're talking Teslas, Bolts, Leafs, all getting the markdown treatment like it's Black Friday at a dealership. It's like the EV gods looked down and said, "You've waited long enough, my child. Go forth and ye shall receive a slightly abused Model 3 for under $25,000. And look, this is great news for anyone who held off during the pandemic madness, when dealers were out here asking $40,000 for a used Bolt like it was dipped in gold. But now, it's your time. Your broke friend who said electric cars are too expensive in 2022? Yeah, they're currently browsing Facebook Marketplace like it's Zillow. Just make sure to check the battery health before you buy. Some of these deals have about as much range left as a gas station burrito has dignity. Feeling inspired? Good, because GM wants in on your hopeful little heart. They're hinting, not announcing, not confirming, but hinting at a new, affordable, next-gen EV being built right here in the US. Let's pause for a round of cautious applause and federal tax credit daydreams. GM's exact promise that they're aiming for price parity with ICE vehicles, which is cute considering the last attempt at an affordable EV still came with dealer markups, battery recall, and strong please don't park this in the garage energy. But hey, this one's supposed to use Ultium battery tech, have faster charging, and come with all the bells and whistles in the PowerPoint deck. And yeah, I know it's going to happen someday, but this promise sounds eerily familiar. Like when Elon told the Tesla board he'd deliver a $25,000 electric car, back when Pluto was still a planet and Twitter wasn't an NFT marketplace. At this point, basically a race to see who blinks first. Actually, my money's on GM, not because they're fast, they're still moving like a turtle in the molasses on a federal holiday, but because Elon seems more focused on rocket ships, AI girlfriends, and changing the font on X. So until then, keep daydreaming about that mythical $25,000 electric car that doesn't feel like a punishment. We'll believe it when we test drive it and it doesn't burst into flames. Let's talk about the comeback of the century. No, not Blockbuster trying to sell popcorn on Amazon. I'm talking about the Mercedes 190E, a car that originally looked like it belonged in a West German business park, now returning as a full-blown track-devouring menace. You remember the 190E, right? Boxy, humble, the kind of car that said, "I'm here to pick up my dry cleaning and discuss taxes." But now, this thing has been to the gym, chugged NOS, watched Rocky 4 on repeat, and came back wearing carbon fiber like body armor. They've turned it into a Restomod so aggressive it makes modern AMGs look like they're doing ballet. We're talking full cage, downforce that could keep a cruise ship stable, custom aero that basically screams, I eat GT3s for breakfast. This isn't just a love letter to motorsport, it's a revenge letter. Someone clearly had a 190E growing up, got bullied for it, and decided to dedicate their adult life to making it the scariest sedan on the track. And honestly, I respect the petty. It's the perfect example of what happens when nostalgia meets horsepower and says, I don't want to be remembered, I want to be feared. Imagine pulling up next to this thing in your AMG GT and thinking you've got it handled, and then getting absolutely obliterated by a car older than most F1 drivers. Now, let's swing over to Tesla, where the vibe is somewhere between we're still the future and please don't look at the competitors, because while Tesla's been busy tweeting, streaming X, formerly Twitter, and selling Cybertruck merch, the competition has been doing something wild, building better cars. Tesla's flagship models, the Model S and Model X, used to be the gold standard. You bought one and you were instantly in the I get it crowd. Now you're in the I can't believe my $90,000 car doesn't have wireless Apple CarPlay crowd. We're talking about a luxury sedan that still doesn't have a proper rear screen, is missing basic features like 360 cameras, and whose yoke steering wheel feels like a prank that went on too long. Meanwhile, Lucid is out here flexing 500 plus miles of range, plush interiors that look like lounges in high-end airports, and real innovation. Not just, look, we removed the stalks, good luck turning left. BMW, Mercedes, Hyundai, and even Kia, yes Kia, are putting out EVs that don't feel like beta products. And the resale value? Let's just say the depreciation curve is starting to look like a ski slope in Aspen. So unless Tesla steps up their interior game, fixes that software bloat, and remembers that buttons are not the enemy, they might find their early advantage turning into the automotive version of MySpace. First to the party, but not the one you're texting now. Alright, you know, it's a weird week in car news when NASCAR ends up in the same sentence as international apology. So here's what happened. NASCAR driver Carson Hocevar decided to put on a show in Mexico City during his celebratory Burnout, you know, the look at me, I won donut fest. He absolutely sends it into a wall. Whoops. Now most of us, when we crash in front of thousands of people, do what? Laugh, apologize, cry in the trailer. But Carson, he grabs a mic and declares the entire city cursed. Not the tires, not the track, not the humidity. The entire city. I mean, imagine if someone crashed at Silverstone and said, England is clearly haunted. You'd be banned from tea for life. So obviously, backlash ensued. Social media lit up, NASCAR PR probably choked on their lunch. And eventually, Carson had to issue an apology. The kind that probably involved 3 managers and a call to his mom. Now, was the crash funny? Absolutely. Did it require throwing shade at 22 million people? Probably not. Next time, just say, I was feeling myself too hard and my throttle foot wrote a check my talent couldn't cash. We'll all laugh, and you won't have to apologize to an entire country. And now, ending on a note of actual progress, something that doesn't happen often in car news. So let's savor it. The United States has officially crossed 12,000 public DC fast chargers. That's right, after years of we're working on it, the charging infrastructure is finally catching up. Sure, we're still not at Tesla supercharger levels, but at least now, if you're driving cross country in a non-Tesla EV, your journey won't feel like a scavenger hunt built by sadists. It's part of a push by the federal government, automakers, and charging networks to make EVs actually usable for road trips and not just glorified city golf carts. But let's not pop the champagne yet, because for every new charger, there's still one that's mysteriously under maintenance, located behind a dumpster, or requires 4 apps and a voodoo chant to activate. The good news? More chargers mean more confidence in EVs. The bad news? We've still got range anxiety, credit card readers that don't work, and at least one charger at every station being hogged by a guy streaming Netflix in his Lucid while charging from 97% to 100%. But hey, this is what progress looks like. A little messy, a little late, but better than nothing. So if you've been holding out on going electric because you were worried about where to plug in, the grid's growing, slowly, but growing. Wow, what a week. We had McLaren teammates colliding like it was Demolition Derby, used EVs dropping in price faster than your Bluetooth speaker, GM promising the affordable EV dream again, and a 1900E from the 80s showing up to the track like it's got something to prove. Meanwhile, Tesla's luxury lineup is quietly aging out. NASCAR's doing PR cleanup in Mexico, and the US finally realized charging stations don't build themselves. Yeah, it's been a ride, but hey, if you made it this far, you're a real one. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If not, go go ahead and hit dislike. We'll survive. Drop a comment and let us know which story had you laughing, cringing, or shaking your head the hardest. And if you want more, I'll leave some past episodes up on the screen for you to check out. Seriously, thank you for watching all the way through. Whether you're here for the car news, the sarcasm, or just to hang with other gearheads who love chaos, you're part of the Friends with Benefits family. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep driving, and remember, if your car doesn't make you feel like a superhero, you're probably driving the wrong one. Friends with Benefits Car Club, signing off.